everyone. This is the story of the top 10 longest rivers in the world, and at the end, we'll talk about the shortest river ever recognized by the Guinness World Records. It's so short that even a child could walk from its source to its mouth in just a few minutes. Shocking, right? But don't skip ahead just yet. Let's first count down the 10 longest rivers in the world. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, let's start with the first river on our list, ranked 10th among the longest rivers in the world, the Amur River, stretching 4,444 kilometers. The Amur River, also known as Heilongjiang, forms a natural border between Russia's Far East and Manchuria, specifically Heilongjiang Province in China. The Qing dynasty, whose rulers originated from Manchuria, considered this river sacred. In fact, provinces in both China and Russia were named after it: Heilongjiang in China, south of the river, and Amur Oblast in Russia, north of the river. Since 1916, a concrete bridge spanning 2.6 kilometers has connected Russia and China, allowing trains to pass through Siberia. We have the Congo River, measuring 4,700 kilometers long. Not only is it the 9th longest river in the world, but it's also known as Africa's most water-rich river, the deepest river on Earth, and one of the most dangerous rivers in the world. The name Congo actually refers to two different countries in Africa, the larger one, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, located in Central Africa, and the smaller one, the Republic of the Congo, in the northwest. The capitals of these two countries, Kinshasa, DRC, and Brazzaville, Republic of the Congo, are the closest national capitals in the world, separated by only 37 kilometers, excluding Vatican City and Rome. There's even a saying, "As long as the Congo New Year," referring to how the Democratic Republic of the Congo only holds major New Year celebrations once every 50 years due to economic hardship. The Congo River has a massive discharge rate of 35,000 cubic meters per second, equivalent to the water volume of 13 Olympic-sized swimming pools, and its exact depth remains unknown. It also has the greatest hydroelectric potential in Africa, with scientists estimating that the Congo Basin accounts for 30% of the world's total hydroelectric potential, capable of supplying power to all of sub-Saharan Africa. Unlike most rivers, which form fertile deltas, the Congo River empties into the Atlantic Ocean through a narrow channel, plunging to depths exceeding 228 meters. It even features a 120 kilometers long canyon, known as the Gates of Hell. We have the Paraná River, measuring 4,880 kilometers long. This river runs through Brazil, Paraguay, Argentina, and even a small part of Bolivia. It is the second longest river in South America, after the Amazon River, which we'll cover later. Several major cities are located along its basin, including São Paulo, Los Cedrales, and Brasília, the capital of Brazil. One important note: this is the Paraná River, not the Panama River, which might be confused with the country Panama. The name Paraná originates from an indigenous phrase meaning "like the sea," emphasizing its vast size. The Paraná River is vital for landlocked countries like Paraguay and Bolivia, providing critical access to water and trade routes. O vi tri thu 7 con song ni hoi ko dok den do la song obi erdish di 5410 km va la mo trong tu dong song noit yang kua nu onga. Ten goi kua dong song ni kok ban tai komo tu gok nong boy vi no batan wan boy su ket hop jua hai con song lon. At 6th place, we have the Yellow River, Huanghe, which, as its name suggests, means Yellow River in Chinese. It is China's second longest river, after the Yangtze, and the world's 6th longest, stretching 5,464 kilometers. Its yellow color comes from the enormous amount of silt it carries, up to 34 kilograms per cubic meter, which is 34 times higher than the Nile River in Africa. The Yellow River begins in Qinghai Province, flows through 9 provinces, and empties into the Bohai Sea. It provides water for over 60 cities in China. The riverbanks have been inhabited for over 1.1 million years, making it the cradle of Chinese civilization and earning it the nickname Mother River of China. However, it is also called China's sorrow due to frequent devastating floods. Historically, it has changed course 5 times and caused over 1,500 levee breaches. Recently, sediment buildup has raised the riverbed, increasing flood risks, but interestingly, the river's water is now much clearer, making its original name, Yellow River, somewhat inaccurate today. At 5th place, we have the Yenisei River, the largest freshwater river in Russia, sometimes referred to as the Great River, It flows from Mongolia through Siberia into the Arctic Ocean. Along its journey, it passes through diverse landscapes, where you can see camels in desert regions and polar bears near its mouth. The Yenisei Basin contains 100,000 lakes, the most famous being Lake Baikal. The river also divides Siberia into western and eastern regions. At fourth place, we have the Mississippi River, the longest river in North America, stretching 6,275 kilometers across 10 U.S. states, including major cities like New Orleans and Memphis. It is one of the hardest river names to spell, with many I's, S's, and P's. Native Americans used it for trade and food, and European settlers later expanded its importance. Today, it is a crucial transportation route and a major source of drinking water for millions of Americans. In 2002, a Slovenian swimmer became the first person to swim the entire river in 68 days, while in 2015, a U.S. Navy veteran completed the feat in 181 days. For those who prefer driving, there is a scenic highway along the river that takes about 36 hours to complete. Now, let's move on to the top 3 longest rivers in the world. At number 3, we have the Yangtze River, also known as the Changjiang. The Yangtze River stretches 6,385 kilometers, making it the third longest river in the world. The name Changjiang comes from Chang, meaning long, and Jiang, meaning river. It is also called the Yangtze because the name was originally used by locals to refer to the river's lower reaches. Later, when Europeans arrived, they adopted Yangtze as the name for the entire river. The Yangtze River has played a crucial role in China's history, culture, economy, and society. If you've watched Romance of the Three Kingdoms, you might remember these opening lines: "The Yangtze River flows eastward, waves sweeping away heroes. Right and wrong, success and failure, all drift with the current. Mighty empires rise and fall, leaving nothing behind." The famous Battle of Red Cliffs from Romance of the Three Kingdoms also took place on the Yangtze. Jingzhou, a key location in the story, sits along the Yangtze and is now a popular tourist site. The ancient city of Jingzhou, where General Guan Yu met his downfall, remains a historical landmark. The Yangtze River Delta, with its fertile lands, contributes to 20% of China's GDP. Since 2003, the Three Gorges Dam has officially controlled the Yangtze's flow. This dam is currently the largest hydroelectric dam in the world. Across the Yangtze and its tributaries, there are over 50 bridges, all constructed after 1955. Before that, people primarily crossed the river using ferries or boats. The Yangtze has over 700 tributaries, each playing an essential role in China's economy. More cities originate along the Yangtze than along any other river in the world. Some of the most famous cities on its banks include Shanghai, Nanjing, and Wuhan. 2. The Amazon River. Taking the second spot is the Amazon River, a name familiar to many. In Spanish, Amazon refers to a massive river in South America. It is the second longest river in the world, spanning 6,400 kilometers, and holds the title of the largest river by discharge volume. The Amazon accounts for 15% to 20% of the world's total freshwater flowing into the oceans. During the dry season, the river's widest point is about 11 kilometers, but in the rainy season, it expands to 40 kilometers. Its basin can stretch up to 325 kilometers wide, earning it the nickname the River Sea. The Amazon plays a vital role in sustaining the Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the earth. Interestingly, the Amazon River is the longest river in the world without a single bridge. Around 25 million people live along its banks, from remote villages to bustling cities in Brazil, Peru, and Colombia. These residents all share one thing in common: if they need to cross the river, they must take a boat or ferry. The main reason there are no bridges across the Amazon is that the surrounding basin has very few roads. Investing in a bridge would be costly and impractical due to the region's lack of infrastructure. In terms of water volume, the Amazon is the largest river in the world. However, when it comes to length, it falls just short of the number 1 spot. In fact, there has been ongoing debate about whether the Amazon or the next river on our list is truly the longest. Number 1. The Nile River. The Nile River claims the top position, measuring 6,650 kilometers in length. It originates from 2 primary tributaries, the White Nile, which begins in equatorial East Africa, and the Blue Nile, which starts in Ethiopia. The Nile flows through Egypt before emptying into the Mediterranean Sea. In total, it passes through 11 African countries, including Tanzania, Uganda, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Kenya, South Sudan, and, of course, Egypt. The Nile is considered the most significant river in Africa and, as mentioned, the longest river in the world. It played a crucial role in the development of ancient civilizations and is still shrouded in mystery. The river was so important to Egypt that it was worshipped as a deity. The Nile remains vital to modern Egypt, supporting agriculture, industry, and daily life. It supplies over 96% of Egypt's annual freshwater needs. When discussing the Nile, we can't forget about its most notorious predator, the Nile crocodile. These crocodiles can grow up to 6 meters long and weigh 700 kilograms. While their diet consists mostly of fish, making up 70% of their meals, they are known to prey on nearly any animal that comes to drink from the river, except for two, fully grown hippos and elephants. Nile crocodiles are also responsible for numerous human fatalities, with an estimated 200 people killed each year in regions where the Nile flows. That wraps up our list of the 10 longest rivers in the world. As promised, now it's time to talk about the shortest river in the world. The shortest river in the world. This river was once recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records in 1989. Located in the United States, it is incredibly short, only 60 meters long and about 2 meters deep on average. Before this, the shortest recorded river was also in the U.S., measuring 130 meters in length, not 130 kilometers, just 130 meters. The story of how this river earned its title dates back to 1987 when an elementary school teacher came up with the idea of rallying students and locals to get official recognition for the river. At first, the river had no name. The students then petitioned the authorities to name it, and in 1989, it was officially recognized as the world's shortest river. However, Guinness World Records has since removed this title due to ongoing debates about the criteria for determining a river's length. Thank you for following along with our story about the world's 10 longest rivers, and one of the shortest, which remains a topic of controversy. If you found this interesting, consider subscribing to the Thinla Discovery YouTube channel. And don't forget to leave suggestions for future videos about science and history.